Grace and sensitivity. I'm thrilled. I do wish my husband were here to hear that. It's funny that Dina would have mentioned intimidation of the trustees. When I was asked to be a trustee, of course, the first thing I did was to read up on you folks. And I was impressed, yes, but I was also intimidated. And I couldn't wait to meet you guys. That first meeting, Canaris, I walked up to the boathouse. I could hear you all talking and laughing, bon ami. And I opened the door, and the minute I walked in the room, I could tell that you were folks of distinction, careful spenders. Now, that weekend we had a lot to do, and I don't know if you remember that there was something beforehand. We had received hundreds of pages in the mail of it was a multi-authored, multi-chaptered, unedited, mid-states something. And I had just gotten back from 8 years overseas, and there were a lot of things at the time that were very foreign to me. I thought when I got back to the States I'd be okay, and I'm looking at this thing. I didn't know what it was about. I needed help. I said, oh my goo, who wrote this draft review? Chapter 1 says, please love us with all your heart. Chapter 2 says our students are really, very, very, really, really very smart. And Chapter 3 says, we beg you, give us our one big chance. But not really. And I asked Dan Sullivan, and I said to Dan, do we get a grade on this? Could we fail? Now, he laughed, and all of you laughed, because you knew that the 10 years since the last review, that St. Lawrence had come into its own. And actually, this was an enormous opportunity for us to show how good we were. So it's to you in this room and to so many other people that how we came out in that Mid-States review, the fact that it was so great. And a special nod to Dan Sullivan, because that was 10 years of his tenure. So no sooner had the mantle of self-satisfaction, we had become quite a university, settled on our shoulders, that we heard, oh, Danny boy, retirement is calling. What to do? How do you ever find a successor to Dan Sullivan? Somebody said we should form a search committee, and so we did. Now, it was made very clear, if you were on the search committee, your job was to quietly and discreetly review the bona fides of the candidates. Do not discuss any names. It would be terrible for names to be out there, and you didn't get the job. If you were not on the committee, and I wasn't, your job was to quietly and discreetly find out what you weren't supposed to know. And this is how it went. So how's it going?
Very well, very well.
Could you say anything like, is it a North Country person, perhaps?
No.
Perhaps a woman?
You know, it's all confidential.
Somebody from academia, perhaps?
You'll find out eventually.
Can you say when you're going to say?
No.
Finally, the committee spoke. We've chosen William Fox, no ordinary guy. You'd pass him on the quad, and you would notice him. We chose him, and now he's, well, I guess, and now he's our own about a guy like Bill Fox. He's been called articulate, intelligent, a leader, outgoing, a Renaissance man. Me, I call him a planner. Look, you got that response thing number 1, you got the response thing number 2, you got a climate action plan, you've got a master facilities plan, and then you've got a plan in disguise, and you call it a map. Mary, I wanted to say that. And I would bet that all over campus there are these little plants that are hatching, and someday they're going to be here, and it's unbelievable. In fact, I would go so far as to say, the reign of Bill rests squarely on his plans. And so with Bill and his plans, and all of you, I leave St. Lawrence with the great confidence that the future will be wonderful. And I say to the students, along with all the things that I hope you have in life, my own personal feeling is that you can have knowledge with an open mind, success with humility, the ability and desire to forgive other people and yourself, and confidence. Confidence so when the ringmaster of life gives you a chance on the high wire, you will go for it. And to all of you, I say, thanks for the memories. You've really all been great, and I have had such fun. But in the end, I'll miss the most my Saturday cinnamon bun.